All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about Patrick Cantlay's $15 million win this weekend at Eastlake. We're going to talk a little bit about the FedEx Cup format and what we think about, whether it needs to be changed or not. And we're also going to do a little bit of a Ryder Cup draft to close it out. There's no PGA Tour event this weekend, so it'll be a bit of an interesting episode. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
All right, let's get inside the ropes. So Patrick Cantaly, he goes wire to wire, obviously, because he starts as the week as the round zero leader, we'll call it, in honor of like week zero of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes wire to wire with it. Almost kind of didn't at the end. Rom flirted, but
Rom ran out of holes, but he played well enough to hold on to the lead, and that's just kind of the way it was. I believe he ended up 11 under for the week, which was definitely not the best out of anyone, but he played well enough to keep it,
and he earned that, right?
Absolutely.
Which is why, I guess we'll kind of get into it, which is why I think like you earn that right throughout the season. Like otherwise, why would people try during the season as much?
Right.
Why would they play as many events?
The format. So a lot of people have been talking about the format lately. Is it the right format? Should they change it again? Should they go back to the old way? He definitely earned the right to have that lead, but I feel like the last few events are very like backloaded, where like you have to get hot at the right time to win the FedEx Cup. Because a normal win earlier in the season compared to a BMW Championship win, like the BMW Championship win is worth so much more than like a normal win.
Fair, but you're also competing against those top 70 guys that earned to be there. So I get that it could be amended in some way, but what kind of way do you think are you suggesting?
I'm thinking that like the staggered score makes sense at some point. Like I think that like the top 5 guys or the top 4 guys should all start at the same score. So like let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all start 10 under, and then you go down to 8.
Yeah, 10 to 7 is a big jump to be had for a weekend.
Exactly. And like John Rahm started off, what was he at, 6? And like he came all the way back to 20 under. I think he was tied with Kevin Na for the lowest aggregate score of the week. Right. He just like he didn't have enough holes to come back and get to that 21 under or whatever Cantlay was at. So,
and if you are gonna have it be that way with that format, that staggered format, then the BMW Championship and their own trust shouldn't be worth as much as they are. They still should be worth more because they are the playoffs. But
I think they're worth.
I understand what you're saying,
because like Tony Finau won the Northern Trust, and like he ended up going up to number 1 in the leaderboard, and like he hadn't won at all this year. Like he shouldn't have gone up to number 1 with just one win. So like I think it was just worth a little bit too much, and I think it's worth looking into. I think the staggered score makes sense. I don't think having 2 winners makes a whole lot of sense anymore. Like the last time Tiger won the Tour Championship, and who was it who won the FedEx Cup? Like
Justin Rose.
Yeah, Justin Rose won the FedEx Cup.
Nobody cared.
No one cared because Tiger won the Tour Championship. So it's like, you can't have that happening, but I feel like there's a way to do it where it's more of an even playing field, where someone like a John Rahm who finished, first, second, third, fourth in the FedEx Cup going into this week, has a fair chance because he played just as well the entire year.
And there are smart people in the world of golf. Like, there's a happy medium to be had here. You don't like, just because we might not be able to come up with one right now on our podcast that we do once a week as 22-year-olds doesn't mean that there isn't a solution out there.
And yeah, the question I posed the question on Reddit this week. It got a ton of comments, like over 100 people commenting on how they would fix it, and like everybody had different ideas. Some people had some good ideas, some people had terrible ideas, but like there's definitely a lot of different ways they could do it. I heard match play being thrown around a lot, maybe something like the USAM, like we said a couple weeks ago, where like the first 3 days are is like a tournament style play, and then the last day is a match play between the top however many, or the opposite, where like you could have the first 3 days be a match play, and then like the final 4 or final 8 gets to go into like a stroke play tournament on the last day for to win it all. I don't know.
Right.
It's just like there's some different ways of doing it. I don't think the PGA Tour wants to put match play into the
A
Tour
Sunday
Championship and
singles,
FedEx Cup.
but like, how would you do that? Yeah, I don't know if match play logistically makes
Yeah, I
sense.
don't think match play is it, but I think more people should have a chance at it. I think if you're finishing, going into the week, if you're 1 through 10, you should have a good chance, of being able to win the FedEx Cup. Like I said, maybe 1 through 5 starts at 10, and then 5 through 10 starts at 8, and then it goes down from there. But
Yeah, because you
and
still have that advantage. Like you have
yeah,
2 strokes on a lot of the field, or 4 strokes on a lot of the field, or five, like 6, or whatever it ends up being. But it's not like you just automatically like have that 3 stroke lead on just who's in second place if you're Patrick Cantlay. Like, yeah, he was gonna win. Like,
and it's a lot of money between like first and second and third and fourth. Like there's a lot on the line here. I think John Rahm, I think he'll be player of the year. Moving on to that, like I just he won a major. He was pretty much top 10 in almost every event. It felt like
yeah,
competing in every event, and he the Memorial he should have won. At I was thinking about this the other day. If he didn't get COVID and or even test positive for COVID at the Memorial and he won the Memorial, he would have probably been the 10 under guy this week,
probably. Yeah.
and then he would have won the FedEx Cup. So the Memorial cost him, almost, let's see, it was like $10 million between
But do
first and
you think
second, and
so?
then $1 million.
Even with Cantlay's,
I think he might have, yeah. Even if he would have been up a couple more spots. So he would have, and he only lost by a stroke to Cantley. So he would have won the
yes.
FedEx
Okay.
Cup.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
it cost him around like a little bit over $11 million, because it would have been the $2 million that you win for that,
Yeah.
and then the $10 million between first and second. So I mean it is unlucky that it cost him that. I don't think he needs the money that bad, but like it would be
No.
nice to have
So
12 million more dollars and he could have had.
here's a question for you. Who do you think wins Rookie of the Year?
Let's see, what are the options here for rookie of the year?
I'm trying to think. So there's Zalatoris. There's, I mean, off the top of my head, like that Wilco 9 Aber guy.
Yeah, Garrick
No. Garrick
Higo.
Higo. No.
So here we go. Zalatoris, McIntyre. They say Victor Perez is a rookie. Guido. Um, I don't think anyone else is really worth
It might be
mentioning.
staggeringly
Yeah, I think it's Will
Will
Zalatoris or
Zalatoris.
Robert McIntyre, one or the other. I mean,
But
none of them won.
it's 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 Zalatoris if you're just talking even like at that point it's popularity and was Will Zalatoris.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably Will Zalatoris. I mean, it sucks that he couldn't get a win because he couldn't get into the FedEx Cup playoffs. So we
Yeah.
can see it
I
in
mean,
the
he
last
wasn't even
couple
playing
weeks.
great golf to
No, but he
begin
would have
with.
made it in.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes into this next season.
Yeah, I
How he
mean, he
kind of
definitely needs to fix his
rebounds.
putting for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I would go with him. I think Scheffler won last year, so Zalatoris winning this
Mhm.
year. It makes sense.
Yeah. And then we also had Brooks. He had to withdraw after hitting a tree root that was massive.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously he misses this charity match for 250K as with Dave Portnoy, but also um, who knows what's going on with the Ryder Cup for him? Like he's had wrist injuries in the past. I don't know if it's the same wrist, but you don't know if that's gonna, what that's gonna do to him.
I mean, it's a good thing the Ryder Cup is what 3 weeks away, so
Yeah,
It's it's a good thing that there's
3.5.
that. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's locked into a spot right now. I mean, if he can't play, there's plenty of good players that could replace him. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later. Who we think's going to win,
No,
or who we
two and a
think's going
half.
to get in. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he still takes home a pretty hefty check for finishing, I guess, in the 30th spot. So
Speaking of the Ryder Cup, I went to Whistling Straits today. I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. Oh Lord, is that a beautiful golf course?
it is a really nice golf course.
I swear, dude, it's unreal. Wisconsin and upstate New York, and but just like the cold places in the fall, though,
Mm-hmm.
it hits different. It
Yeah,
hits different.
right off the coast too.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know what the coloring
You
of
can
the
tell
Western
me that
Straits is
that's
right now.
a Great Lake. It's the ocean. It's the ocean. I look out and I see a horizon with no land. It's the ocean.
Looks like the ocean to you.
It's not. It's not by the books, the ocean. But come on. But that's besides the point. Yeah, no, Whistling Straits. I really only got to see the first tee today. But the grandstand is huge behind the first tee, so they're gonna be making a bunch of
It's gonna be
noise like
rowdy.
surrounding the first tee. And that first hole, like I could tell, like obviously the first hole is probably an easier hole on a links course, one of the lower or higher handicaps, however you want to put it. But with the wind, that place is gonna be crazy to play at.
Yeah, Whistling Straits is a really
You
cool
miss
golf
the
course.
fairway, and
Yeah, you're
you're
done.
either in very
Fescue.
thick rough, and that is like the best case scenario,
Yeah,
or you're in a weird bunker that the lip is so high, or you're in deep fescue. High fescue, I guess.
should be fun. Whistling Straits is a great golf course, especially for Ryder Cup. I think they absolutely killed it. Selecting Whistling Straits as a Ryder Cup golf
The
course.
surrounding
Now,
area is
it's
just
gonna play
simply the
long.
smallest place ever, so it's gonna be weird because I'm hearing that there's gonna be 65,000 fans a day.
Yeah, sounds
For
about right.
reference, at the BMW Championship, there's 21,000 fans a day. And I thought that was packed on like Saturday and Sunday. I was like, oh, wow, there's so many people. It's triple that. And I was like, I don't know what that's going to be like.
And it's not going to be like a normal golf crowd. It's going to be like a
No, and it's going to be a
rowdy
rowdier golf crowd, which is just, it's beyond me. That's going to be such a cool event.
Yeah, very excited for that. I mean, like I said, it's a couple weeks away, but it's really the next thing to look forward to.
Yeah, it sucks.
mean-
I'm not going to be there for the actual event, which is just
Yeah,
so
sucks that
disappointing.
it did
But
that to you.
I
mean, yeah, before we get into that, how about Team Europe today won the Solheim Cup? I watched the end of that today. US made a charge at the end. They were in a lot of the matches at the end, and like they could have made it close, but a couple missed putts, and Team Europe was able to close it out. But very fascinating golf. Like these women are insane. I mean, a lot of really long putts were made. It was just an incredible tournament. I think they need to put it on like NBC or like not just on the golf
and not
channel.
finish on why are you finishing on a Monday? Weather?
I don't know. I think they were just planning to finish on a Monday.
They shouldn't do that.
I mean, it is Labor Day, so like
holiday. Okay, true. My bad. I was not operating on that because I flew to Wisconsin this morning. But yeah, no, I wish I could have watched, but I was doing stuff, traveling and everything. But yeah, no, these team events are always just so much fun to watch, no matter, men's, women's, college, amateur, professional. They're all so much fun to watch.
Yeah, the way they set up the golf course too was insane. The 16th hole at Inverness was a 283-yard par 4. So they were all just pulling driver and like hitting it really close, like for eagle opportunities. So
that's so much
that
fun.
was fun, especially down the stretch. Like if the match is tied.
17th at Whistling, gonna be crazy. I hope I get to like somehow see that because that's on our Pin High course, I think.
It is, I believe.
It's like a 230-yard par 3.
Yeah, by the
Not a lot
coast.
of room to
Nothing in
miss.
between the green and the tee
Yeah.
box.
And not a lot of room to miss around the green. Like there's not like there's no like chipping area, and if there is, it's very small.
Could yield a
Um,
very high score.
yes, which in match play it doesn't really matter. There's a high score, but like that
I
is
mean, if
where a
you're
match
coming
could be won
down,
and lost.
yeah, if you're coming down on a match and you're like all square and all of a
Mhm.
sudden somebody hits it over, you're
And
kind of
someone
out of
hits the green, then
bounds.
like that's
Yeah.
done. Yeah, it's finito right there.
before
Solheim Cup,
before
I from what I've seen, looks awesome. That's another event that BMWs are at. Um, this other guy, Greg, um, is there for the loadout of the vehicles, but he's not like apparently doing a lot during the tournament, so he's just there as like he's been spectating this week. And he's been like at the first tee,
That's
which
pretty
sounds
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like he's literally just spectating the Solheim Cup, probably having the time of his
Yeah, and
life.
some of these women like you know how like everybody gets quiet before a golf shot, like they're on the first tee and like everybody's going crazy like while they're hitting a shot. It's
Mhm.
unbelievable.
And they're all probably all like encouraging it too. I've seen.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, so just great environments for that. On that note, let's move into stat of the week.
Yeah. So stat of the week, since Brooks Koepka withdrew from the tournament, that left an odd number. So Joaquim Neiman ended up going off as a first tee time yesterday, and you know what? He didn't think he was going to do this, but once they were through about 9 holes and realized they were on pace, he decided to try to break the record for fastest round at East Lake. So, which is just wild.
It's held
That
by
he just
Kevin Na,
decided
right?
that.
Before
Yeah.
that,
So it was held by Kevin Na. It was an hour and 59 minutes held by Kevin Na. And, you know, he's playing this final round by himself. Him and his caddy. His caddy decided to take only 3 balls. So they only took 3 balls. They took a bunch of stuff out of his bag, making sure the bag was light, just in case they decided they were going to go for it, which was not the plan, but they did it anyway because he's playing pretty quick. So through 16, they started running after all the shots, which was really funny
yeah.
just to
Didn't
see
he put
him
on
like on the
running
golf
shoes?
course. I'm pretty sure he was wearing like running shoes.
Yeah.
So him and his caddy are just like running after every shot. 16, 17, 18.
Really brutal for the
Trying to
caddy.
trying to beat the clock. Yeah, no, caddy's the MVP for that. Probably deserves a nice bonus.
Yes.
But yeah, so he ends up coming in, clocking in at 1 hour and 53 minutes. So he beats the fastest recorded round record by about 6 minutes.
It was Kevin
So
Na before, right?
yeah, Kevin Na was the previous holder of that record, I guess. So
Did I talk about
it's
Russell
pretty
Henley's
funny.
round last week at the BMW?
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
something similar.
Yeah, like not like under
Not
2
sub
hours,
2 hour,
but it was just above 2 hours, and he shot 5 under.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what did Neiman shoot.
To be
He made
honest.
he made a bomb putt on
Yes, he
16.
did.
That would
Yeah.
kind of help the cause. He
Yeah.
was 2 over. That's not terrible.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously that course is a scoring course, but he was trying to break a record, so I mean, it doesn't really matter where he was going to finish anyway. So
Yeah.
pretty
So
cool.
there's no skins this week because there's no tournament. The Fortinet Championship, which was the Safeway Open, it's in Napa. It's where Cameron Champ won.
Yes, he did
At some point, right?
2 years ago.
And they have the
Last year,
barrel.
Stuart Sink won last year.
Yeah, they have the barrel as the trophy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool trophy. I would like that trophy. Maybe not as number one, but it's a cool one. So yeah, we're not doing that this week. There's gonna be 4 skins on the line next week for that, which is gonna be interesting because it's just like close
throw
your
it out
eyes
there
and point
tournament.
at a winner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about Roback before we move into our Ryder Cup. Of course, one of us has to have on some of the merch. Cheeks
Always.
got it. I was talking to them recently. They're going to be at the Ryder Cup, which sucks because we're not going to be there at the same time. We're going to coordinate something, but didn't work out. But anyway, you can go into the link in our bio, buy and click on the Roback link, and just using that link, you'll get 15% off your order as soon as you add it to the cart. So go do that at the link in the Instagram bio or the Twitter bio, really anything there is.
Yep, really good deal. They have a lot of cool stuff right now, so
Yep.
definitely look at that.
Right. So let's get into our draft. It's draft season right now, fantasy drafts. I guess you can call it a Ryder Cup draft right now. I mean, so we have 6 players from each team that are fully qualified right now, right?
Yeah, so the six, I'll go through this. We'll start with the USA. So I'll go with
Yes.
the six for the USA. Right now, Colin Morikawa, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, who we're still unsure if he's going to play or not. Let's say
Yeah.
he's
Do we
playing.
want to
Yeah, no,
include
let's say
him in
Brooks is
ours?
playing. We'll do an alternate at the end.
Okay.
Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay. So those are the six that are in, and then you have to pick six more. So, I mean, right off the bat, there's two guys for sure that are definitely in.
Xander and Jordan.
Yes. So Xander,
Tony's a
Schauffele, and
lock as
Jordan
well.
Spieth are in. And
I'd
Tony
say Tony's a
Finau
lock.
over the last couple weeks put himself into the conversation as being a lock. So yes, those three are in. There's three more
I'd
to
say Harris
go.
English is in.
I mean, yes, I believe Harris English would be in, especially how he's played recently. I mean, and he does have a couple wins this year from the beginning of the year.
I think he
Yeah, I
deserves
put
it.
Harris English in, so that's four.
Now, do we think Patrick Reed will be ready?
I think so.
Okay, so he's in.
Yes, I would say Patrick Reed is in just if he's healthy enough, which he looked good this week. I mean, obviously he's starting off at the bottom of at 30th. Where did he end up finishing? I don't know, but he looked good this week. He withstood the rounds in the heat. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be ready in 3 weeks.
And this 12th one, I think really at the end of the day comes down to those 12th through 14th spots. I don't
Yeah,
think
so so
I
there's
think I
one
don't
more
think
spot for
Horschel or
Daniel
Kisner in.
Berger, Webb Simpson, Scotty Scheffler, Jason Kokrak, and probably Sam Burns is the last person
I
to look
don't
at.
think
I
Sam
don't
Burns is
think
going to
Sam
be
Burns is
in.
it. The only thing I would
No
say about
chance,
Sam's
honestly.
the only thing I would say about Sam Burns is he does kind of fit the profile of a player who would play well at Whistling Straits, but I don't think he's going to
Right.
get picked. But that's the only thing I would say about him.
I don't think
Personally,
Jason Kokrak's in.
I would lead towards Scotty Scheffler. I could see a lot of people saying Daniel Berger just because of how like reliable and just like, you know, solid he is. But
It's
I feel
really
like
at the end of the
you need
day,
somebody like Scotty Scheffler. I feel like Scotty Scheffler is the guy.
it's who you think is going to be the pick versus who you want to be the pick. And I want Scotty Scheffler. I really hope it's not Webb Simpson because he doesn't fit the course. He's not playing well. But I think
I
it's
just
going to
don't
be
think it's going to
Daniel
be Webb
Berger.
Simpson. I think it's between Scheffler and Berger. I think it's going to be Scheffler because of his match. He won the match play this year, didn't he? Or did he come in second?
Beho did. That's
Beho.
why
So
I
he
wouldn't
came in
sleep on. I
second.
also wouldn't sleep on Beho.
But still, so Scotty Scheffler comes in second in the match play. He hits the ball pretty far, good in strokes gain approach. I mean, solid putter when he's on. So I think it's gonna be Scotty
So
Scheffler.
that fits the profile of Daniel Berger too, though.
I mean, a Scotty Scheffler Jordan Spieth pairing if they don't do Spieth Thomas. I mean,
It's Spieth Reed usually, is it not?
it, give or take. I feel like Jordan
Yeah,
Spieth and Justin Thomas are trying to play together.
yeah. Because it was Thomas Woods in the President's Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's Scheffler. I really do.
I mean, yeah, I think it's between the two of them. I mean, I think Patrick Reed's in, and I think Harris English is in. So yeah, between
Yeah,
the two
I
of
do
them.
too.
I think if I had to rank them right now, it would probably be Spieth, Schauffele, Finau, Reed, English, and then one of those last two. Yeah. So Europe, who is in?
Gotcha. Because right now it says John Rahm, Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton, Rory. They're in, which that's not very much of a surprise, obviously. You'd have to imagine Sergio gets a spot.
Absolutely yes. Even though he's
So that's
down there, Sergio's probably
yeah.
a captain's pick.
Matt Fitzpatrick gets a spot. Would you agree?
I would agree that he deserves a spot and he should get a spot. Now, I don't think Whistling Straits fits his game that well. but I think you got to include him on the team. He just had such a great year.
Paul Casey gets a spot, 100%.
Yes, I mean he's a solid player.
Yeah.
He's definitely a guy you
By the
want on the
way,
Ryder Cup
I
team.
have Paul Casey's hat from the BMW Championship that he wore in the trunk. Do you want it?
Sure, I'll take it.
I'll try to grab it. Who else? McIntyre, I could see him playing well here. I don't know if they'll pay. Oh, Hovland's in.
Yes, Hovland is in. So
So
what
what
does
does
that
that
what,
put
what does
us
that
at?
leave us with? That's the four at the top.
And then we did
Casey,
2, 3.
Sergio, Hovland.
So that's 7, we said.
Yeah. And then I guess you said Fitzpatrick.
Is Lowry? Fitzpatrick was part of the 7.
Okay, he was part of the 7. So
Was Lowry? Shane Lowry? I think that's who I'd take in there.
I could see it. Again, not a super long hitter. Not really like I think USA has the advantage in this because of just like the fact that they have so much length off the tee with a lot of these guys. Um, I mean, obviously Europe has Rom and Sergio if he makes the team. They both are near
So
the top 5, but
5th in the rankings is Bernd Wiesberger. That's
yes.
interesting.
So I think he's had a really good year in Europe.
And
To
that's
the
got to
point
count for
where
something.
yeah, to the point where he's probably going to get selected to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had a really nice year in Europe.
I could see Ian Poulter getting on that team.
Yeah, I think he's a fringe guy.
I don't know how fringe he is. There's not as much to choose from on like
Yeah, but
as
there's
much.
not when you're
They're
looking
not
at
as,
the names, you just like you don't you see a name like Thomas Dietrich and you're like I'm not gonna pick him, but like he's had a really good year. Like you just don't know about it. Victor Perez, he's had a really good year. Like he's probably I
yes,
think Victor Perez is probably gonna make the team just based on the year he's had.
yes.
He's not a player that you or I might pick, but I think he's gonna make the
I
team.
hope they. Okay, I don't want to root against Guido Migliozzi. That's why I hope he doesn't make the team because I would love to see Guido Migliozzi.
As would I. Yeah, this is Europe is a tougher one than USA because like in the USA you just look through the rankings and you go, you know,
So is
1 through
it tougher?
12 and look at the last guys kind of.
I would rather be the captain of the European team picking because there's so much less ego to deal with when you're picking the teams and so much less like just because he's like he's Tony Fina you have to pick him or just like not that's just for instance or like just because he's Bryson DeChambeau you have to pick him. Obviously Bryson would make the team anyway, but there's so many guys that to choose from so many different countries with so many different like backgrounds of how their season has gone that like you can really just pick and choose what you think is going to fit the course the best, I think, with no ego attached.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Europe has a nice mix of young players and veteran players who have been there before to choose from. So it is interesting to see where they're going to go. I just like there's so much to choose from here.
Do you think Justin Rose makes the team?
I don't think Justin Rose has had a good enough season to make the team.
I think Lee Westwood hasn't had a good enough end to the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But once again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lee Westwood's name on the list when
I
the
would
team
not either. It comes out on Wednesday, right?
I like at least Team USA is definitely coming out on Wednesday. I don't know.
So the day of the recording of
You might
or the day
know,
that
yeah.
this episode comes out, you'll know. They'll have a draft or not a draft, the rankings come out for who they're picking for the teams. But there's so many ways they can go with the European team. It's crazy looking at it now.
Yeah, I would say
Richard Bland would be hilarious.
true. Was leading the Open, was it? after day
The
one.
U.S. Open
U.S. Open.
after day 2. I think he was.
Yeah, after day 2 as well. I would say Hovland, Casey, Fitzpatrick. I guess I would throw Lowry in there. Garcia, we said.
Mhm.
I think Lee Westwood. I would take Lee Westwood. Yeah, and then probably Wiesberger and maybe Perez or McIntyre, one or the other.
Yeah, and that kind of rounds out the team. You're
Yeah,
not going to
not
really
as
see
many
anybody
like
outside the top 20. Maybe Poulter make the team, but there's a lot of ways you can go within that top 20.
yeah, it's kind of like a starting rotation. Like I feel like John Rahm's like the ace, and then like
Mm.
Rory's like the A2, like, and then you just kind of have a bunch of 4 starters.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with this team. I think there could be some surprises. I think there could be honestly some just that makes sense if you pick like Sergio and Ian Poulter at the end because like it's just
Yeah,
makes
go with
sense
the
to pick them.
experience.
Yeah, go with the teammate chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Team USA is gonna have a lot of guys who've never played in Ryder Cups before, so and like Presidents Cups, so
Right.
would be interesting to see. I mean, they will definitely open up as a resounding favorite, but like I could see these guys going into match play on the Europe side and kind of embracing the underdog and playing well. So it should
Right.
be very interesting to see.
Exactly. Yeah. So we don't have a lot for you besides that for this week, unless there's anything specifically you'd like to cover inside the clubhouse. But next week we got the start of a new season. I don't know if we want to restart skins or not, but I think I kind of want to keep continuing my comeback, to be quite honest.
Yeah, we'll decide with Trevor next week what we want to do with
Maybe
skins.
in January.
Yeah, maybe we do it at the end of the actual
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Plus, we have 4 skins on the line next week, so
Yeah. Exactly. I want to because if I get that, like I'm not in it, but I'm more in it.
yeah, you're cutting the lead.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you next week for the Fortinet or Fortinet. I don't know what it is. Well, I guess we'll know when the coverage starts for the championship up there in Napa. A lot of wine to be had. So yeah, see you next week.